This is the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager class Megatron. And here's the look of the new Voyager class packaging for the Generations line. Get a new trilogy. Very, very G1-esque. And here is War for Cybertron Siege Voyager Megatron out of packaging. He is looking fantastic. One of the best Voyager class Megatron figures we've had that looks absolutely like his G1 counterpart. Save, of course, for these weathering splotches of silver here and there. Yeah, I'm very, very much delighted with this particular figure. I honestly thought he would turn into a gun. I mean, sure, he has this huge tank tread backpack. That gave it away. He's going to be a tank. But without this, I mean, if you just take this out of the picture, I would totally buy it or believe that he could actually transform into his gun mode. But alas, Hasbro has been avoiding making any Megatron gun figures for obvious reasons, and they're sticking with a tank mode or spaceship mode or jet mode for Megatron, and he looks absolutely great in robot mode. This is the Megatron you grew up with in the 80s. Look at him. Let's see if we can get a closer look at the details. Decepticon symbol right there. There are more sort of, again, with this weathering gimmick that Hasbro is trying to do. It kind of works better with Megatron than with Optimus Prime. Let's bring in Optimus Prime. As you can see with Optimus Prime, it just feels like it's out of place. Like it's like an accident. But this one is like, it feels like there's more purpose to the weathering. Like here, it kind of works better for Megatron. And size comparison wise, they do scale nicely together with each other. They stand about exact. It kind of feels that Optimus is a little bit taller because of the horns on his head, but both of them are great together. They're perfect scale. They're both just under 6 3/4 inches tall. Absolutely loving this robot mode of Megatron. Look at that head sculpt. That head sculpt is so G1. I mean, you can't get any more G1 than that. But yeah, I wish they didn't do this. I mean, I wish they would have just kept these figures clean. I mean, they're brilliant and they're absolutely amazing, but they had to do it with this gimmick. I wonder if Takara Tomy is doing the same thing. But yeah, look at that. All G1. He comes with several accessories. This is the main accessory, which is supposed to be removable. This is his sword. You can wield it. Well, Megatron came with a sword, Optimus with an axe, or he usually came with a sword and a flail. It can also double as a joust right here on his main gun, on his fusion cannon gun, sorry. The fusion cannon is removable if you want to. You can peg it anywhere you want to on holes that have 5mm, but classic Megatron is always on his right arm. That was the scope of his gun. If you flip, you just untab the sword blades right here. You flip out. Well, in tank mode, they do flip out, and you can have an extended gun barrel. Look at that. And in the same vein, you can actually put it on his other arm. So we'll have 2 cannons that doubles as a sword. This one does rotate like this if you wanted a more spiky weapon, but this is how the instructions say to do it. More details of the figure. Yeah, there's a huge backpack. I think it's a common thread for these Voyager Siege figures. Look at that backpack, just like Optimus Prime. That's fine. You still get a nice silhouette, big feet right there, and the gun. So sans the weathering paint apps, I thought the G1-esque type of motif this was going for really nailed it. I mean, Hasbro really nailed it with this one. They even added these. These were supposed to be the hammer the pin and hammer for the gun, but they even added that just to make him look so much like G1. Yeah, he still doesn't turn into a gun. Articulation for the figure, he's got a ball jointed neck, and this flap right here, this is probably the most annoying point of articulation. It moves up and down, it doesn't lock into place or anything like that. You need to put it down because of transformation, but yeah, it doesn't lock into place or anything like that. It's got a waist swivel, also because of transformation. Hinge arms that allow you to go up and down, and forward and backward. He's got a ball hinge elbow, just a 90-degree bend, slightly more than 90 degrees. Swivel. Wrists go in and out because of transformation. Hips, do the splits, forward, backward, thigh swivel. Hinge knees, only 90 degrees, unfortunately. Okay. And then the feet, they don't really move at all, very slightly, but they do have that ankle pivot. That one is not part of transformation, they just added it. On the left leg of my figure, it actually works fine, but on the right leg, and I need your help, and I need help from you guys to tell me if it's the same on your figure or mine is a quality issue, because if mine is a quality issue, I'm gonna have to look for another one, because this one sucks. It's so tight that you have to really sort of bend it and snap it out. Then it just doesn't want to snap back on, just like this one. This one snaps to and fro, and then this one just, it snaps out, and then that's it. You can't put it back. The only way I thought of doing it was I stuck a blade right there and tried to fish it out, but I already broke 2 blades with it. So I think this is the best way to do it. You get a thin screwdriver and you just push it out, and that'll snap that back into place. Kind of sucks. I do hope it's an isolated case, an isolated issue for my figure, but do let me know if your figures have the same problem, and if they don't, then I'm gonna have to find another one. Okay, so I picked up these figures at R Toys, my local hobby shop. I think they still have stock as of this filming, and if you want to go check them out, I bought the Voyagers, Deluxes, and Micromasters from that store. Very, very nice. So let's do one final comparison before we transform him. And here is Titans Return Megatron. Split swing, you know what I mean. He's much taller. This guy is almost like 7 inches tall. Yep, 7 inches tall. Head to toe. Leader class Combiner Wars Megatron. And between the two, I mean, this one was pretty good. I mean, he's tall because he's got that DX9 upgrade, but he was so G1. I mean, given that he turned into a tank as well, but with the upgrades and all that, this was my G1 Megatron. But now with this one, all he's missing is really that scope, that barrel, the gun barrel right here. This could pass as the 80s G1 Megatron. Head sculpt wise, this is more G1. The chest, legs, arms, I'm really getting that vibe from this figure. Alright, so let's transform Megatron into his tank mode. Go ahead and straighten up the arms like that. Straighten out the legs like that. Make sure the ankle joints are locked in place. Okay, fold in those fists right there. And what you want to do is you want to just raise this up like that. It's okay if the head tilts like that. That's fine. That's really meant to do that. Okay, just do it this way. That'll give you some clearance to fold the arms. Now you gotta do this correctly. You just line them up. My bad. You fold this up, and this one will keep folding down over and over as you transform. Just do it that way, and you transform the arms this way. You just line them up so that the peg on the other side of the gun or the scope or his fusion cannon lines up properly. And you get a straight flush fold of the arm. Rotate the waist like this, okay? And you're gonna want to do this one first, okay? So this one, you gotta pop it out. It feels tight the first time around, but once you get the hang of it, it'll loosen up. So pop it. I thought I was gonna break it first time I tried to do it. Just fold that up. It's loose, but it does ratchet a little bit. Now this piece right here, you're going to want to squeeze it in between the tank treads. And you want to tab it in right here. Now at this point in time, the instructions were still pretty clear. I do love this new set of instructions. I love the effort that Hasbro has tried to do with all these magnification all, but at this point in time, once you get to this point, the instructions become pretty useless, and it's best if you just figure things out on your own. You can look at the instructions as a guide, but they're not being very helpful at this point of the transformation. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to collapse this whole tank assembly right into that slot right there. Sort of slide that in. Slide everything in right there. Right there. Just as flush as you can get. And don't worry about the head. It's just going to stay there. Everything should tab into place right there. Okay, the legs again are a little bit tricky. And you got to do it step by step. So fold the calves, because these are the calves, means you rotated the waist, okay, like that. Instructions say to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Then here's the tricky part. You got to rotate this thigh piece and then rotate the knee piece as well, like that. I had to figure that out. The instructions don't do a good job at showing you that, but that's what you do. You try to rotate thigh and the knee piece, the knee joint at the same time, right there. And then sort of fold them right here, just at an angle so you can put down the calves back down, and then you tab in those calves on those pegs right. There's a peg right there, tabs into that hole right there. Same on the other side. So, okay, and that's tight. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this. And then the feet, just fold out these heel spurs. They immediately popped off. The first time I tried to unfold, just need to go this way and this way. So that ankle joint is purely fan service to give us more articulation. All right, so as it is, tank mode is looking absolutely fantastic. It's sort of Cybertronian, I get it, but it has some earth-based elements right here up front. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Without the extra gun, the tank turret can swivel easily and can move up and down. Now, instructions say to mount the gun, the extra gun, this way. You slide in that blade right here. There'll be enough clearance to do so, and then you just peg in that barrel. And if you have the blade in, it's a little difficult to move that barrel up and down, that gun barrel up and down, because the blade is going to be hitting that bottom part of the turret. So yeah, but it still looks cool with the extended gun turret. I thought it was pretty cool. This makes it look more Cybertronian. It's like a tank with a scope. It's kind of looking funny. You can, however, do this one as well. If you do that, this one makes it look more Cybertronian with the blade, sort of like an armor sticking on top. And I thought this was a much cooler mode. Gun looks inverted, but you know, I thought this was also cool. It gives more range of motion up and down this way, or up and down this way. And gun. And turn the turret this way and that. Okay. So some final thoughts on the figure. The Megatron figure is great. If you're a big fan of the Generations line, you love how they're trying to bring back or give a more modern version of the G1 classic Transformers toys, and this is the Megatron for you. I mean, I absolutely love it. It scales wonderfully with the other, War for Cybertron Siege Optimus Prime. It will probably scale well with other Generations figures. I love it. I love that Hasbro is making an effort to give us modern, updated versions of the G1 toys we love. And you know, albeit it's not a gun and it has all these shoddy weathering paint apps, I have some issues with transformation, some kibble here and there. Given that all that, I still think it's a great figure, one of the best Megatron figures we've had. Same goes for Optimus Prime. It's gonna get a 9 out of 10 for me. If you're really into the Generations line, you love G1, these figures are absolute must-haves. Best of luck to everybody hunting them down. I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Megatron. Thanks for watching.